Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 21 online CFM game. We are just capping off Season 3 of the Premier Madden League, heading into Season 4, and we have to talk about the offseason that our Detroit Lions have just experienced. Now, we are in preseason week 1. We have technically skipped through the offseason and the draft, but you guys know how it goes. We will recap all of the moves we have made through every week of free agency, the draft, and of course, the trades. You think we weren't going to make a trade after going under 500 in the previous season? And keep in mind, we have to figure out who the quarterback is for our Detroit Lions this season. The most important position on the field, and one of the really only needs for us to fill on the Detroit Lions is that quarterback position, because we have built a pretty solid squad. The secondary has really come together. The defensive line has its studs with Okwara, Hand, and Trey Flowers. The linebacking core is coming together with the likes of Bobby Wagner and Jeremiah Moon. Offensively, the offensive line is pretty set up. We got our running back with John Emery and a couple of solid backups like Ty Johnson and Christian Beal-Smith. And, of course, the wide receiver core, probably the best in the league. But as I say that, we just sent away one of those offensive linemen, Kevin Zeiler, who's getting up there in age. The Miami Dolphins looking for a veteran presence on their offensive line. Our Detroit Lions looking for a first-round pick. We'll take it. Also looking for a fourth-round pick for a reserve cornerback. Sure, why not? Thank you very much, Denver Broncos. But check out the move we made with the Los Angeles Rams. The former owners, keyword former, of the #1 overall pick in the draft. That #1 pick now belongs to our Detroit Lions. But does that mean we're taking a quarterback with the #1 pick? Because as you guys saw, a part of this blockbuster trade with the Los Angeles Rams, yeah, we got the #1 pick, but we also got Jared Goff at the quarterback position. So is Jared Goff the answer to our questions for the Detroit Lions? And if so, where do we go with this #1 pick? So right away, we just made a franchise-altering move, because in order to get this #1 pick, we had to pony up. We had the 8th pick in the draft, thanks to the Las Vegas Raiders in the DeAndre Swift trade, and then via our own season, we had the 17th pick in the draft. Both of those picks just got swapped away to the Los Angeles Rams. We also just traded away Trey Flowers, who's a part of that defensive line that I said was pretty set up, as well as Taylor Decker, our superstar left tackle. A big price to pay for the #1 overall pick, and you gotta think that if we're making a move like that, surely we're grabbing a quarterback with that top spot, and Jared Goff is not the man of the future. So Jared Goff is still on the team for now, as we have Kyle Trask and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay coming off of an undefeated regular season, but unfortunately for Tampa Bay, they lost in the NFC Championship game to the Minnesota Vikings in what was quite the stellar game. Minnesota ended up winning it at the last second, but Tampa Bay's looking to rebound. They're looking to start their rebound against our Detroit Lions. So right away, bang, 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 we have made 3 trades. We have made a number of free agent signings, including 2 veterans, Justin Houston and Patrick Peterson. Justin Houston is immediate relief for us since we just traded away Trey Flowers, one of the best defensive ends in the league. Even though he's getting up there in age a little bit, he still is above average by far, almost a 90 overall. Good block shedding and power move, but that's all in the rearview mirror. He's not on the team anymore. One guy that will be on the team for next season, or this season and the season after, is Jeff Okudah. We pick up his 5th-year option, being a #1 draft pick, so that was an easy decision, obviously. So Okudah will be with us for the rest of this cycle, the rest of this series. This is the way our offense looks right now. Jared Goff has officially been cut, all right? So the speculation about what Jared Goff's going to be on our team is officially done. Jared Goff freed us up $25 million cap space by walking out of town. So we made sure Jared Goff got his walking papers, and we re-signed, I should say, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill played tight end / fullback for us last season. Is he the starting quarterback? Probably not. All right, let's be real. Probably not. But you guys saw that we got Justin Houston, we got Patrick Peterson. Even though our secondary depth is still really good, we haven't touched that. Pat Pete's still going to be a guy that could potentially get some, backup safety minutes or 4th-string cornerback minutes for us, or at the very least just provide a veteran presence and provide depth for us in case of an injury. So he came on a low-money deal. We didn't pay too much for Pat Pete. And our Detroit Lions have a lot of cap space as it is right now, since our team is mostly consisting of younger players, and we don't have a big-money quarterback on our team since we just got rid of Jared Goff, of course, and we don't really have a quarterback. All we have is Taysom Hill, who might not be a quarterback for us. He might be a fullback once again. So quarterback spot's still up in the air, but of course, with the draft upcoming, we have to see what our Detroit Lions do with this #1 overall pick and see what quarterback we're going to take. Now, I already know what quarterback I plan on taking from the moment I make this trade. You don't trade for the #1 overall pick without having your guy in mind. And even though it cost us a lot of assets, that's what we spent the back half of last season doing, was building up the assets to make a blockbuster deal like this to get the #1 overall pick and select our future face of the franchise. Everybody say it with me, David John Uiagalelei. I definitely will not fault you if you did not say that with me, or you stuttered at some point within one of the 6 syllables of this man's last name. I don't know why I drafted him, because it's going to be pretty damn hard to say his name, but then I look at these stats and I know why, because damn, this guy is good. 96 throw power off the bat, 85 speed, 86 acceleration. His intangibles are off the chart. Now, his throwing stats can use some work, but that can easily be fixed up. Now, before I go any further, I need to explain to you guys why this man is normal development at the #1 overall pick. A lot of you guys know how the draft process works in this Premier Madden League CFM, but if you do not, here's how it works. Now, after the draft and after the preseason, the commissioner of our league uses what's called the draft devs tool, and it's a pretty complex and pretty cool formula that helps determine the devs rather than just Madden randomness. So it's literally after preseason, right before the start of week 1, when we find out the devs of the players. So as of this game against Tampa Bay, week 1 of the preseason, I don't know what the dev of our quarterback is, but, I'd like to think he has a good chance of getting the superstar or X Factor, because, he was a #1 pick, and he does fill out a good number of the criterias that are listed on that draft dev tool setup. So, we can only hope from there, but in the meantime, I feel like we've got our guy, and quarterback is the most important position on a team, and we definitely struck out a couple of times between Drew Lock and Cam Newton last season. So to get that position solidified was the #1 priority, and the #1 priority in the offseason, to be quite frank with you guys, was to try to trade for the #1 overall pick, because if we did not swing this trade, the backup plan was going to be, there were a number of good quarterbacks in this draft. Brian Young, there was Michael Penix, Mac Jones, for whatever reason, is in this draft class. But at the end of the day, DJ was going to be our guy. And otherwise, I just didn't feel too secure with the other players, because they just didn't have the arm talent right off the bat that DJ possesses. So now we got our guy, and you can check him out. I purposely did not show you guys defense until the big reveal. Now you guys can see DJ Uiagalelei in action, and maybe we can all learn how to pronounce his name correctly. Now, DJ is on Clemson in real life. He just wrapped up his rookie season, I believe, and when Trevor Lawrence got COVID for Clemson this season, DJ actually started 2 games. He started against Boston College and Notre Dame, I believe, and I believe he went 1-on-1 or 1-and-1 in the Notre Dame game. It was like a double overtime game or something like that, but he had some pretty solid showings. So definitely look out for DJ on Clemson this upcoming NCAA season. But for right now, check him out on our Detroit Lions making big plays like this. This is what DJ brings to the table, and this is why we drafted him #1 overall. What we can do with DJ Uiagalelei are the kind of plays that we could not make with any other quarterback we've had in this CFM so far. Not even Matt Stafford, because as elite as Matt Stafford was, especially in Season 1 when he broke the NFL single-season passing yard record with over 5,600 yards passing, Stafford just didn't have that mobility at the end of the day. DJ has all of that. Like I said, we'll work on the accuracy, and we'll fix that up pretty quickly. And by the way, check out our boy Matt Stafford. I'll touch that one up in a second. But first things first, we just made not 1 but 2 more trades. One of these is a blockbuster trade with the San Francisco 49ers that involved a number of moving parts. To simplify this one, we traded the 2nd round pick that we have and our 4th round pick for Ty Chandler. And we just got a 4th round pick back from the Denver Broncos. So, which 4th round pick went to the San Francisco 49ers? It was the 4th round pick that we got in the Chase Lucas trade. And that was originally our draft pick, by the way, that we sent to the Broncos in the Drew Lock trade. It ends up going to the 49ers at the end of the day. And then we get the Broncos 4th round pick, their own 4th round pick, in a separate trade where we trade our reserve linebacker Jace Lucas and we acquire an extra draft pick because, you know, while we're making all of these crazy moves and trading away multiple 1st round picks, we need to take our shots in the back half of the draft, so that's going to help us do that. Jason Lewis not too integral to our team now that we have Jeremiah Moon and Bobby Wagner at the middle linebacker position, but Ty Chandler is going to come in as a backup running back. He's not taking John Emery's spot. Emery is going to still be our, starter, but at the very least, we could have a solid timeshare between Ty Chandler and John Emery. Both young players, both star development running backs, both, I believe 93 speeds, so, that gives us a solid 1-2 punch. And if John Emery goes down, some good insurance. It did cost us Christian Beal-Smith in the trade, who was one of the guys, I was saying was, going to be one of our solid running backs on our depth chart. But, to make that trade without having to give up anything crazy, I figured, what, let's take a shot at it. Because at the end of the day, how badly are we going to need the 2nd round pick and the 4th round pick? I feel like I'd rather have the running back. That's just me personally. So that is 5 trades made by our Detroit Lions. We have gone crazy with power with our Detroit Lions. 5 trades in the offseason, including a move for the #1 overall pick. But we still have one more pick in the 1st round of the draft. We traded away pick number 8, which was from the DeAndre Swift trade, and pick number 17, our own draft pick. But remember the Kevin Zeitler trade where we got pick number 19 from the Miami Dolphins. We also swapped away a 2nd round pick. Now, we did have 2 2nd round picks, one of them from the Seattle Seahawks from the Bobby Wagner for TJ Hawkinson trade, and then our own 2nd round pick. So we ended up trading away both of those 2nd round picks. One of those turning into this draft pick here, and even though we somewhat addressed the Trey Flowers replacement situation with Justin Houston, I'm thinking we go defensive end in the 1st round. Now, one definite position of need for us is tight end. I would say the other big position of need for us in this draft is outside linebacker. It would be nice to get one more of those, but I just didn't see any tight ends or outside linebackers that I liked. I actually wanted to get Willie Anderson, who was picked, I believe, 2 spots before us, but well, he got picked. So the last guy I really had on my board as a must-get at this spot was Jordan Burch out of South Carolina. Now, Madden's hating on us, saying, oh, man, we reach. But, it's a solid piece coming right away. And, he's kind of built like Trey Flowers, a solid 3-4 defensive end, 78 power move, 76 block shedding right away before we even play preseason. If we get both of those up to like 80 or 85 or something like that, then we got something to work with. And, at the very least, he can play behind Justin Houston if he's not ready yet. And, learn behind the veteran, and then eventually he can step in at some point. So, that definitely was a pretty solid pick for us, I feel like. And to go along with DJ, we're doing a decent job of really just swinging the roster all around, making all sorts of crazy moves. It's quite the circus act to balance all that we're doing right now, but, at the end of the day, I would say we're doing a pretty solid job. Now, that's just me personally. I am the GM, so I gotta like the moves I made. It's up to you guys what you guys really think. But what I'm seeing right now from DJ is, exactly what I wanted from the guy that we, traded a king's ransom away for the #1 overall pick. What I'm feeling in these couple of games so far, I'm absolutely loving right now, and I'm ecstatic for what this offense can do next season. The defense as well. Defense, I like what we got. Even though, we are missing a little bit in the front 7. I would say that's the one true weakness of our team. Maybe just the trenches in general, even though we did a solid job finding replacement veteran offensive linemen in J.C. Treader and Quentin Spann to take the spots of Kevin Zeitler and Taylor Decker. Like, I don't think that's going to hurt us too bad. The defensive line, the front 7 depth in general is a little bit low, right? But it's just a sacrifice we're going to have to make. And, maybe we'll just have to hope that the guys in the back end make the plays for us as we run a little RPO action. And, we could definitely mix in some RPOs with DJ for sure. Try to take advantage of that mobility. Not too much since he's, primarily, a strong arm quarterback. But that's what we want. That's what we need. Especially with the wide receiver core that we have of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kenny Galladay, and Deebo Samuel. I just felt like it was important for us to get that quarterback, that guy. And DJ Uyunglele is that guy, all right? And I promise you, we'll all learn how to properly pronounce this man's name. And by the time he actually gets drafted in the NFL, maybe as a #1 overall pick in real life, who knows, in a couple of years, you guys will be saying it. Damn, that DJ Uiagalelei is nice. And your friends are going to be like, who? And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I learned that from the Lions CFM, right? So here we are at the 1-yard line, throwing it up, but too far away. Come on, DJ. Wide open. How you going to miss that one? Don't do it twice. Thank you very much. That's shorter. That man is not short at all. I'll explain who he is in just a second because we still have more draft picks to cover. So just to let you guys know the rest of the draft picks that we have upcoming. So after all the moves we made pick number 1, pick number 19 in the draft. The next pick we have is our own 3rd round pick. So, you know, that 3rd round pick did not get touched up anywhere. Then we have the Broncos 4th round pick. Then we have, you know, the 5th round pick, 6th round pick. And we actually have 3 7th round picks because we got a 7th round pick from the Panthers last season. We got a 7th round pick in the Ty Chandler trade, and then our own 7th round pick. So that's not really too significant because, like, it's the 7th round of the draft, but we'll take a couple of swings there. You never know who you can find. I mean, Taekwon Thornton was one of the last players drafted last season, and he was solid for us. He was a preseason hero for our Detroit Lions, and he's doing a solid job of following that up, by the way. Taekwon Thornton, the man that caught that touchdown on the corner route last game from DJ, as we hit our tight end, who is trying his hardest, trying his damnedest to keep his balance, but eventually he falls down. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and the offense is on the field. No field goal to tie the game. We want a touchdown to take the lead. DJ in the back corner of the end zone for the 2nd time this game. It's Taekwon Thornton. I love, speaking of that man, he shows up. What a hit from Jeremiah Moon. This game's actually coming down to the wire here. Week 2 of the preseason against Washington, who is definitely one of the solid teams in this league, but they're not going to get a touchdown. It's a fumble forced by the Lions, forced by the rookie Birch. Boom. Got it. Ball back to the Lions, and we make a nice goal line stand. It wasn't too significant or anything like that, but you know, if you're going to make plays like that in the preseason, you definitely want those big plays to come from the young guys, and that's what we're seeing. You know, Taekwon Thornton out here once again. DJ's making plays, just trying out a little quarterback keeper. Probably not too smart to do in the preseason, but might as well see what our guy Big Cinco can do. And, you know, that's actually one of the nicknames for DJ Uiagalelei, I believe. So expect a lot of Big Cincos to be coming out in the upcoming season. And, I mean, there's a reason why that man's Big Cinco. He's 6'5", 250. This guy is built like a damn linebacker, and he's playing quarterback. Like, this guy's a freak. This guy's an absolute freak. And he's our guy. He's our quarterback. So you guys check out some of the stats. And after you guys check out these stats from week 2 of the preseason, we'll go over the rest of our draft class. And eventually, towards the end of this video, I will be showing you guys the dev traits for our rookies, all of them. So, not just our rookies, but for the entire league. So you guys can see, you know, which rookies got superstar, which ones got X Factor, which ones even got star, and then the ones you guys don't see are going to be normal devs. So, yeah. Now that we are done processing moves, basically, you know, our team is DJ at quarterback, Kenny, Amonra, and Debo at wide receiver. We got John Emery and Ty Chandler at the 1 and 2 at the running back spot. Tight end, you'll see right now, we addressed in the draft. We drafted not 1, but 2 tight ends. And then defense, you know, we went over the secondary, the line, defensive line. We have Deshaun Hand. We have Aiden Hutchinson, who also came from the DeAndre Swift trade. And then we have between Justin Houston and Jordan Birch, the number 19 overall pick. And along with that, we were actually able to draft Gavin Potter out of in the 6th round of the draft. 70 overall linebacker, but he has some pretty solid stats. 90 acceleration, decent, or, you know, okay block shedding. So Gavin Potter might actually see some starter minutes out there. So not too many snaps, maybe limited snaps, but Gavin Potter could be a guy that sneaks into the rotation. We also signed Tyus Bowser in the offseason, so we might get some Bowser action as well at that outside linebacker spot. But, you know, in general, it doesn't hurt to have that kind of depth and have those healthy position battles that we're kind of learning in the preseason. And then our 3rd round draft pick, you know, the first pick we had since Jordan Birch, ended up being Mr. Justin Shorter out of Florida. The man is named Shorter, but he's 6'5", 238. So we're drafting giants right now. But not only is the guy big, He has 92 speed, guys. Like, Colin Johnson, who we drafted last year with the Miami Dolphins, I believe he was 6'5", but I think he was 89 speed out of the draft. This dude is 92 out of the draft. Justin Shorter is a complete freak. And we have enough wide receivers, but I just could not pass up drafting that man. And he might actually see some wide receiver 4 snaps, since, you know, we're probably going to be running 4 wide receiver sets a decent amount of times with these Lions, with the run and gun style we're going to be implementing this season with DJ, Amon-Ra, and the boys on display right here. You know, Justin Shorter, maybe not right away, but he might be taking Taekwon Thornton's spot at that number 4 wide receiver position. But at the very least, we have 5 very good wide receivers. And, you know, in case somebody gets injured, we got our guy. We got replacements ready to go. And especially if Kenny Golladay gets injured, man, Justin Shorter, this dude kind of just fits in the Kenny Golladay role. The only thing is Shorter's catching stats are pretty low, so, you know, he's not exactly a freak like that to just throw jump balls to. But, I mean, we're on the Detroit Lions. The dude is huge. The Megatron comparisons just scream out at you, right? We're not going to call this guy Megatron, but, like, hey, Megatron Jr. or something? Like, Babytron? This guy is something special, as we have an interception by Michael Wright out here. We're playing our Week 3 preseason game against the Chicago Bears. Week 3, of course, is the preseason week where the starters play 3 quarters of the game, most of the game in Madden, and our starters played pretty well in this game. Bears threw a lot of pick sixes, and we were able to capitalize for the most part. But, you know, we played a pretty safe game on offense. Didn't do anything too crazy, considering this is a division rival we're going to be playing 2 more times in the regular season. So, you know, no reason to go balls out against the Chicago Bears, a team we're more so worried about down the road. And that's going to be the same thing that's upcoming with the Green Bay Packers next week. But, you know, still, you know, we're just installing the offense, installing our new players, and making it all work. And we're now 3-0 in the preseason, and we have a chance to go 4-0 in the preseason. Now, going 4-0 in the preseason is not exactly a good omen in real life. Wasn't even a good omen in last season for our Detroit Lions. We did go 4-0 in the preseason, and then we proceeded to completely drop the ball, especially in the first half of the season. So, definitely not going to put any stock in the fact that we're winning preseason games, but I still like the way our young guys are playing. You know, Birch is putting up numbers. DJ's obviously playing really nice. And, you know, in general, I think we are set up to have a fun season with our Detroit Lions. And that's all I really care about, man. Like, I just want to have more fun with this season than I did last season. Because as you guys know, like last season, it was the least amount of fun I ever had with Madden. I was just so out of tune with it. But I just want to, you know, enjoy what I'm doing with this team, what we're doing with this franchise. And, you know, if we are able to build a team that we like, then that makes that job that much easier. So I think we've done that, and we've set ourselves up in position to have, you know, definitely a fun season 4, and hopefully a successful season 4 where we win games and we make playoffs once again. We've missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons, man. I think it's time for us to try to end that drought. Now, without further ado, here are the development traits for every player that will be getting star, superstar, and X Factor. We start off with the star players, and right at the top, that's DJ Uiagalelei. That's not supposed to be where he is on this list. He was supposed to be a superstar or an X Factor. But I will be completely honest with you guys. I don't care if the man is not a superstar or an X Factor. I mean, I would have loved X Factor to try to get those extra abilities, but honestly, this man plays like a superstar X Factor, just the way he's built. So, you know, it's not too big of a loss for us. Like, you know, I feel like his physical attributes are enough for us to be like, all right, that's okay. But check out our little Easter egg, our little surprise here. So you saw the number of superstars. There are 3 X Factors out of the draft. Brian Brees and KJ Henry out of Clemson. And Justin Shorter out of Florida. Megatron Jr., Babytron, our 3rd round draft pick. A superstar X Factor. What? Not what we expected, to say the least, and suddenly throws a wrench in our plans as far as the wide receiver depth chart, where I was thinking Justin Shorter might spend this entire season just developing, and then we'll see, you know, season 5 back into season 4 he gets some snaps. Well, this man is a superstar X Factor, our 3rd superstar X Factor wide receiver. Don't mind you, definitely not what we needed, but we'll take it. We will definitely take it. And we have DJ throwing to Deebo Samuel. So the question has to be possessed. Does Justin Shorter potentially knock Deebo Samuel down the depth chart, right? Because Amon-Ra and Kenny Golladay are the 1 and 2. But is Deebo's position at the number 3 in jeopardy? Well, I gotta say no. Now, in any other scenario, we would be trying to build Justin Shorter up and primarily focusing on his development. But given our team, the way we are built right now, we don't have to do that. We are fine with Deebo at the 3 and Amon-Ra and Kenny at the 1 and 2. And Justin Shorter can play the 4. That is okay. We will bring him along. And I mean, hey, bro, hold on a second. He just smoked the number 4 overall pick in the draft, the number 1 defensive back, taken off of the board. So he might be a beast right now, but he's not to wait his turn. But as I mentioned before, we are going to be running a number of 4 wide receiver sets on the field, just like we did at the back end of last season. So there's going to be opportunities for Shorter to make plays. But Shorter, that man is definitely taller than most of the defensive backs, if not all, he's going to be going against. Unfortunately, the rookie Johnson gets back Shorter. He gets his revenge, gets the interception here. Not going to take it back for 6. But you see, the Green Bay Packers have cut the deficit completely and have grabbed the lead and have put our undefeated preseason in jeopardy. But you know what? Fine by me, man. It's not. By the way, that is Osiris St. Brown, one of the 2 brothers of Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, yeah, we had Osiris on our practice squad last season, and he got some preseason minutes. He won't be on our real roster, but you know, I figured it would be fun to have the other St. Brown on the field, all right, and just maybe to confuse somebody. That's not Amon-Ra. Who is that? That's Matt Stafford. Now, I did tell you guys we were going to touch on the Matt Stafford signing. Matt Stafford has been brought back as a backup / mentor to DJ Uiagalelei. Now, you know, I would say there was a quarterback competition in camp, but there was not. DJ's our guy. He's starting week 1. But Matt Stafford, if anything happens to DJ, he's still decent. Now, he's not a superstar anymore, but he's still decent. And you know, he could be serviceable for us if something happens. So Matt Stafford is still on the Detroit Lions. He's, I believe, a 79 overall. So, you know, the arm strength is starting to fade away a little bit. But, you know, it's still not bad. And, of course, Matt Stafford is one of the best throwing animations. That's Slinger 3. The same exact throwing animation that DJ has, by the way. I think I mentioned that before. So, that's a solid setup for us. As you see, I'm trying to hit up Shorter. A couple of one-on-one opportunities. He actually had the touchdown just now, but got bodied out of bounds before getting into the end zone. So, we're going to need Shorter to toughen up a little bit if he really wants to get touches in the regular season. But that's going to do it for the preseason. That's going to do it for this long off-season video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed all of the crazy moves our Detroit Lions made, including trading up for the number 1 overall pick. Let me know how you guys feel about all of it in the comment section, good and bad. And, you know, no matter how you feel, this is the way our team is set up for the regular season. So next time I see you guys, it will be week 1 of the regular season. And we will be playing Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. What a game we have on deck. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, the king of passing. DJ Uiagalelei, the new king at the quarterback position. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe for more Madden 21 franchise gameplays. And I will catch you guys next time.